They say you never forget the one that got away. And for me, that someone wasn't from my hometown, or even my continent. She was a Thai girl, in a quiet restaurant tucked away from the chaos of Bangkok. And somehow, in just one afternoon, she changed the way I looked at love, and myself. My name's David. I was in my early 30s, working in tech back in Europe. From the outside, everything looked stable. Decent job, nice apartment, a predictable routine. But inside, I felt trapped, burned out, tired of the same cold mornings, long meetings, and shallow conversations. One night after a long shift, I opened my laptop, stared at flight deals, and impulsively booked a trip to Bangkok. No insurance, no itinerary. I just needed out. I landed in Bangkok a few days later. The moment I stepped off the plane, the heat wrapped around me like a wet blanket. But I didn't care. I welcomed it. It was different. It was alive. Everything about the city struck me. The buzzing of scooters, the vibrant markets, the scent of street food floating through the air. The signs in a language I couldn't read. And the smiles, the endless genuine Thai smiles. My hotel was in Sukhumvit, simple but nice. At night, I'd float in the rooftop pool and watch the skyline flicker like a sea of stars. I felt free for the first time in years. I spent my days exploring, riding the BTS, getting lost in the side streets, trying mango sticky rice from roadside vendors. I had no destination, just curiosity. And the nights? The nights were electric. Bars, music, friendly strangers. Thai women with effortless charm and warmth. I was far from home, but I didn't feel lonely. Still, something was missing. A few nights of fun didn't erase the ache I carried. One afternoon, tired of the noise and craving some quiet, I wandered away from the main roads. I passed old wooden houses, family-run shops, and kids playing in narrow alleys. Eventually, I stumbled across a small restaurant tucked behind a line of trees. It looked local, not touristy. No big signs, just simple chairs and soft music playing inside. I stepped in and asked for a coffee. That's when I saw her, Molly. She wasn't loud or overly made up. Short hair, gentle voice, and a presence that made the whole room quieter. Maybe 24, maybe 25. She smiled politely and welcomed me in English that was surprisingly fluent. She brought my coffee, and I asked how she learned to speak so well. Molly told me she had worked long hours and saved every baht she could to pay for English classes. She said it helped her earn a bit more at the restaurant and gave her more options. But even with her language skills, she still worked 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. She supported her parents and helped raise her nephew, her brother's son, after the boy's mother left. She told me the child called her May Molly, like a second mom. I listened, captivated. She wasn't just beautiful. She was responsible, kind, and strong. There was a calm confidence in her that I hadn't seen in years. Not in anyone. I asked if she ever took time for herself. She laughed softly and said, "Only when I sleep." For a moment, the world outside faded. I felt like I wasn't in a foreign country anymore. I was just a man, sitting across from a woman, completely mesmerized. Before I left, I asked her if she'd like to meet me after work. She paused, looked a bit shy, and said, "Maybe, but if the restaurant is busy, I cannot leave early." Then she said something that stayed with me ever since. In my culture, I usually introduce someone I go out with to my mother first. That stopped me in my tracks. It wasn't a line. It was her truth, her world. And somehow, I respected her more for saying it. That night, I waited and waited. She never came. I called the restaurant. A different voice answered, told me she was still working and couldn't talk. I didn't want to create problems for her, so I let it go. I spent the evening out, met another girl. She was sweet, we laughed, drank, even spent a few days together. But it wasn't the same. I kept thinking about Molly, about the way she spoke about her nephew, about the quiet strength in her eyes. On my last 2 days in Bangkok, I got sick, probably from a food cart near the river. I stayed in my hotel room, curled up, weak and thinking. Not about my job, not about home, about Molly, about the afternoon that felt like a dream, about what might have been. That was years ago. I'm still single now. My life is more stable, maybe even successful by some standards, but it's quieter, a little emptier. Sometimes I close my eyes and imagine a different timeline. Molly and I, in a small condo in Bangkok, morning coffee, laughter in the kitchen, a little boy running around calling me Papa. Sunday afternoons in Lumpini Park, the sun setting behind the trees, her hand in mine. I could have gone back, looked for her. I've returned to Bangkok twice since, but I never visited that restaurant again. Because I know deep down, it wouldn't be the same. She's probably married, has a family, or maybe not. Maybe she's still working hard, still raising her nephew. But that moment, that afternoon, it was real. And it was enough to change something inside me forever. Not every love story gets a second chapter, but some never leave your heart. Have you ever let someone slip away? Someone who made you feel something different, something rare? Share your story in the comments. And if this touched you, like, subscribe, and join us again for more real stories from Thailand.